What up? You can hear me, right?
Ba ba ba.
Okay. So, today has been kind of difficult. I know I talked yesterday about how I had a difficult assignment, but I did not expect it to be as difficult as it was. It was so difficult, I was unable to work on anything uh, other than that. Well, that's not true. I was able to finish my accounting notes yesterday because I realized, hey, I'm not going to have enough time to I'm not going to know enough to finish this tonight, so I guess I'll just finish accounting instead because I've dedicated myself to at least finishing something. So, and I mean, I was also doing that so that way I could work on it today, but I just didn't work on it today because I was so burnt out from forcing myself to work on accounting that late that, it was hard to do anything else, honestly. But now uh, so today has been mostly me not doing a whole lot. So I haven't finished any assignments, I don't think. Yeah. What I am doing though is I'm going to be making my Excel file for that assignment that I turned in today tomorrow morning, but I have to finish two assignments, so that probably means I'm not going to the gym again just because it's 6:37 right now, and yeah, I can push myself and keep pushing myself on and on and on, but I can't do it forever. I need breaks. It was evident this morning when I was so drained and just didn't care. Obviously that's a mental game and I'm not winning that mental game, but it happens sometimes. So what I did today was uh I wasn't feeling motivated to do really anything until I started playing basketball, which is weird, right? You'd think, okay, well, this guy is doing something right now. He's probably going to not want to do anything else later because he was already so unmotivated. But just doing something that made me happy and I know is good for me gave me the energy to want to work on stuff. I finished making a Quizlet for my environmental engineering, and then I took 2 minutes, and then I went back to finish a worksheet that we do in class every time we have class for environmental engineering, but it wasn't posted yet, so I took a 15-minute break instead and watched a Pokemon video. Not from Pokemon, just from somebody else. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I know it just really stinks though, because if I was more dedicated to weightlifting, then I would be doing that. But I really like basketball, and that's the thing I want to do first when I can, or when I know that there's a possibility that I will only have time for one, I will pick basketball because it is way more fun and it's a skill. So I feel a lot more accomplished when I improve on it. But when I do weightlifting, um, sometimes I decrease my maximum because I don't know because I haven't lifted weights the previous week or something else. And this week I'm not going to be able to keep my maxes, I don't think, just because I've taken now probably 2 days off. I don't think I'm going to be going back there tonight. I definitely could, but again, here's the thing. Mentally, it'd be easier than doing homework, but it's still something that's somewhat difficult. And after doing two assignments, I think these two assignments might be easy. There's a chance I might have time. If it's 9 and I still have time to go over there, I might go over there. But if it's 10 or 9:30, I mean, I might as well just stay here because I still have to eat. I still have to take a shower. So, yeah, and I'm trying to get better sleep. I had a hard time sleeping last night as well. That might be because I took Focalin, but I don't really think it is because I fell asleep and then I woke up at 3:30 thinking, okay, let's go, let's do something. But couldn't do anything, really. And I was like, okay, let's go back to sleep. Can't go back to sleep. All right. Let's watch videos then. So I did that for 2 hours. It's tough. Especially, you know why? It was, like, normally I wouldn't spend 2 hours on that, but when I deprive myself of really having much free time throughout the day and I just wake up in the middle of the night and I'm just like, okay, I guess I want to entertain myself now, because that's a good time to do it, 3 a.m., but it's not. It really threw me off doing homework that late. It's kind of weird how much, like, forcing myself to do something kind of backfired. But in a lot of ways it was good because it forced me to take notes for counting. Oh, UConn won. They had, like, one of the easiest paths to the national championship. Like, Creighton beat a 3 seed, right? And I mean, I'm just looking at seeding. That's why seeding is kind of annoying, because, like, you can put an asterisk next to a title because of seeding of other teams that they've played. Like, Gonzaga is a very good 3 seed. They're probably better than Baylor because they had basically the same issues that Baylor did, but with more proficiency on offense. But yeah, I don't think you guys really care about me talking about basketball unless I'm playing it, because I know everybody wants to see me play. Oh, but you know what? I was doing pretty well today. I've started listening to music while I go, but I think I got so much sweat in one ear that I couldn't hear out of that ear, and I thought that my earbud was broken. So I had to take out my left one and just put the right one in to make sure that, okay, yeah, I can hear something from here. So it's not broken, it's just really muffled because either the sweat or the skin that's coming off because of the sweat. But yeah, I think that's basically it for today. Oh, here's another thing. I was contacted by another company saying they'd like to do another interview, which this is crazy because it would be my third interview with this company. Benesh. Doesn't really matter how you pronounce it. But I declined their offer because doing another interview is different than accepting another job, especially at this point. I don't want to do another interview just being like, haha, okay. And I felt like that'd be disingenuous. But they said, like, they would be happy with me if I decided to rejoin them later, like once I'm a professional or something like that. I didn't read the full email because I was just like, okay, I understand the language of that. They basically are saying I might be able to come back there or something like that. So yeah, this is a longer video for pretty much no reason other than the fact I like talking, I guess. Oh wow, okay, this one's kind of interesting. It's for the history. April 4th, 1776. George Washington begins to march to New York. On April 4th, 1776, General George Washington and his underpaid army marched south from Cambridge, Massachusetts to New York, fearing a British invasion there. Washington scolded the Continental Congress for failing to send adequate funds to allow him to pay his troops. The Congress's inability to pay or adequately equip its troops eventually resulted in the granting of Western land as repayment for military service, a practice that helped populate the West. It also resulted in the overthrow of the Articles of Confederation and the drafting of the Constitution of the United States, which created a more centralized government with greater authority to raise funds and an increased ability to manage the new nation's finances. That's kind of cool. I mean, I find it kind of weird when they say this thing led to this other thing. You know, it's like I want to know what happened on that day specifically. But I guess with history, everything if it's in there, it's probably going to affect something else, especially something like that. All right. Which author wrote the Winnie the Pooh books? I do not know. A. Milne. Milne? I don't know. I thought it was Chris. I thought, like, I didn't think it was Christopher Robin, but then that name popped into my head, and then I was like, oh. That was after I read the answer. I was like, how is it not that? I think that's just a character in the books that plays with the animals. Ugh. But yeah, I had a okay day so far. I mean, it's not over. Oh, here's another thing. I've been playing a game called Outer Wilds. This game is really weird. Like, you just go out into space with your spaceship, and you just collect information on what happens, and then like after a certain amount of time passes, either a supernova happens or, well, actually that's after a certain amount of time passes, a supernova will happen. But you can also die before that, and you just respawn until I think you solve the loop or something. I'm very, very new to the game. It's super confusing because it actually involves me having to read and remember things. But the thing is, like, when I'm playing a video game, reading is not exactly what I want to do unless it has a really, really good story. I mean, a lot of people would probably say that it does, but the thing is, it's so jumbled. Like, even some of the dialogue that's in the game, it, like, has an like, let's say you click on this to go, this is the dialogue, right? My two hands. Okay, well, there's one path that goes over here and one path that goes over here. And it's like the characters are responding to each other, but you don't exactly know which character is speaking first when you initially read it. And, like, I'm not someone who wants to read it again. So, yeah. I think that's going to do it for this video. Outro.